friends, I welcome you back to another session this morning. Today we are looking at a very important topic which a lot of people has really misunderstood and which strikes different questions into our hearts, and that is, was the creations completed, was the work of creations completed within 7 days? Did creation actually take 168 hours to be completed? We are looking at what the Bible actually says about it this morning. So let's begin from the book of beginnings. That's Genesis chapter 1, and let's see some very interesting facts from here. He said, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness, and God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. We will see some very interesting facts here, that God began the work of creation even before there was anything called day or night. Then how do we define day? A complete day, because we can call light also day. A period of light, we can call it day, period where there is light. Now there is day, there is night, right? And now a day, a complete day, is the addition of light and darkness, day and night. When the day comes and the night comes together, they make a complete day. Without that, there is no measure for day. Now, when God created everything, there was darkness. When God created the heaven and the earth, darkness was upon it. The Bible never said it was a day until when God created the light and then separated it from darkness. Then the Bible said the day and the night was the first day. That's the measure of day. That's why to us there are 12 hours of light, 12 hours of darkness. So that will make 24 hours, which will be a complete day for us. Now let's continue here. After this, God created second day, third day, because of our time, and now to the fourth day. What did God create? He said, let's start from verse 13. He said, and the evening and the morning were the third day. And now God said, verse 14, let there be lights aside the first light. And this light is plural, aside the one we read in that verse 3, that let there be lights, singular. And now he said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, to divide the day from the night. In the firmament of the heaven, that is the skies, that is where the galaxy is, where the sun, the moon, the stars, and the creation of those things is here. And that is what determines our own measure of day and night. The day and night the Bible was referring to in verse 3 is different from the one it is referring to here in verse 14. The one we have here in 14 is 24-hour day, 12 hours day, 12 hours night. The one we had in verse 3 is not the same. The measure for that is very, very much different. He said to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs. That is it. The day and night determines the months. We can count months, and then we decide this is rainy season. We get to rainy season, seasons come, then the dry season, the autumn, the spring, the winter, like that. He said from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. We count years starting from days. 365 days we make 1 year. He said, and years, let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so, to give light, that's the sun and the moon. And let me tell you a fact from the scriptures. A time will come when there will be no sun and moon any longer. There will be no reason, because there will be no need for day and night, and everything will continue eternally. there will be no measure for day and night. So the sun which is our own measure for day and night will be no more. So I want us to take note of the fact that the calendar used to measure day and night in Genesis chapter 1 verse 3 is different from the one mentioned in that verse 14. The one in verse 14 is 24-hour day and night. The Bible said that a day with the Lord is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as a day. God's measure of day and night is different from man's. So with this we can conclude that the 7 days of creation are not 24 hours days. And in fact, the measure for 24 hours days was created in the fourth day, was created within the 7 days of creation, which is the fourth day. It took place in the fourth day after the creation of the sky, the firmament. Then God said, let there be lights, the sun, the moon, for days, for years, for seasons, for signs, to measure all of those things. And with time, as we read in Genesis chapter 22 and chapter 23, with time there will be no more sun. With time there will be no more moon to give light any longer. In fact, the earth itself will be done away with, because the elements will melt with fervent heat. So let's take note of this, and this will enlighten us the more. And as we look at science, as we look at technological advancement, we will know that it's not a contradiction of God's word. God's word stands secure, and the principles God created millions of years ago are the one science are building innovations on. And Christians, we think wisely. We don't think like old people who are not wise. Every innovation is developed from the wisdom of God's word. God help us. So do like and subscribe to this page, and follow for a lot of other beautiful teachings and discoveries from God's word as we explore. Have a nice day, friends.